आप लोग चुप हो जाओ तो सुन के। Yes, ready? 3, 2, 1. Dear students, today we are going to study letters, and we will be talking about origin and development of letter, and furthermore we will be touching upon the points letters division, and then we will focus on formal and informal letters. So first of all, I would like to focus on from where can we trace the origin of the letter. This is a very typical question. But a man is born and he has requirement of three needs, three basic needs: food, shelter and clothing, that you call in your own language roti, kapda or makan. Food, clothing and shelter, these three are the basic needs of human being. I would like to refer from this book, and the book says that conveying one's emotion, food, clothing and shelter, after that conveying one's emotion is the fourth strongest basic need for human being. So conveying one's emotion, thoughts and desires effectively has been fourth basic need after food, shelter and clothing. Probably the same factor has been the root cause of emergence of human language. You might be surprised to know that human language was born to fulfill that fourth basic need. And even food, shelter and clothing, for that we need language. And then for emotional fulfillment, language is required. You might have seen so many animals here and there, but if you look at them, you will find that, you will notice that they also fulfill their needs of food, shelter and clothing. So they have a very limited level of language. Their language is not up to very advanced level. And for that purpose, for intellectual fulfillment, emotional fulfillment and fulfilling the emotional needs, language is required. And then human language came into existence to fulfill all these needs, which in future became the most powerful and pivotal tool to communicating human expression. Then further later came. Why later? Let us think this way. Why letters? Because we cannot go everywhere to say what we feel, what we like, what we want to share, what are our wishes, what are our desires. You cannot go everywhere. If you want to convey something to the Prime Minister of India, you cannot get him accessible anytime, anywhere. For that purpose, letter is a tool. If you want to convey something to CM of Haryana, letter is a tool, and by a letter you can pass out your message. So letters can be divided into two broad generalizations, formal and informal letters. But again our focus is origin. We will be talking about two possible tracking devices of the origin. First one, mythological origin. What is mythological origin? When for the first time the term letter was introduced. For that purpose, I would like to give you very indigenous Indian example. Indian epical mythological example. And I would like to give you two examples. First example from Mahabharata and second one from Ramayana. But historically, if you will be tracing, you will be noticing that Mahabharata Mahabharata came later, Ramayana came earlier. And the age of Ramayana, there you find an example of letter written by the younger brother of Prabhu Sri Ram, Lord Sri Ram. Who was younger brother? Lakshmana. And Lakshmana wrote a letter to demon king Ravana at the time, threatening him. Again, your letter expresses your personality. Okay? Your letters written by you, they express your personality. And if you will notice, you find that Lakshmana was a very angry young man. So what kind of letter he is going to write? Fire enfolded in the paper. Very fiery letter. And that letter was a threat to demon king Ravana. And original lines I would like to recite that letter was even carried by two Rakshasa, two demons, to the demon king. And when they reached there, they said that Rama Nujadinhi Pati. This letter is given by the younger brother of Lord Sri Ram. Rama Nujadinhi Pati Nath Bachai Judavam Cha. Then later on, the content. What was the content of the letter? What was written inside that letter? Then you will focus and real lines came. It was a threat, and it was threat in a word. Sita Devu Milam Nata Ava Kal Tumhari. This was the content. Means return Sita immediately. Come, meet and return Sita. Otherwise, your death is destined. You are destined to meet your end. This is the one letter. Second example of letter writing that I wanted to share with you that we find during the age of Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, it was a letter by Duryodhana, written by Yudhishthira to Duryodhana, carried to them by Sri Krishna when he became peace ambassador. And what was the message? Again, I would like to say it in English and Hindi both. What was the message of the letter, content of the letter written by Yudhishthira to Duryodhana? King Yudhishthira to Prince Duryodhana. Why? What was the content of that letter? That we don't want to fight with our family members. You do only one thing. You give us 5 villages. For if you want to do justice, give us half of the kingdom. If you want to do justice, give us half of the kingdom. If you don't want to do the justice, give us 5 villages. We 5 brothers will survive on that only. And that exactly these lines were like described by the poet, renowned Indian poet Ramadhani Singh Dinkar ji. Again, I am using Hindi, pardon me for that example. Like दो न्याय अगर तो आधा दो न्याय अगर तो आधा दो, इसमें भी यदि बाधा हो तो दे दो केवल 5 ग्राम 5 villages, रखो अपनी धरती तमाम. But this proposal was rejected by Duryodhana, and the line follows: दुर्योधन वो भी ले न सका, आशीष समाज का ले न सका. Then what was the response of Duryodhana? He declared before Sri Krishna, He Keshava, Vina Yuddhe, Suchi Kagra Bhage Bhumi Nadashyami. I am not going to spare even a middle point of territory without war. And then these are two mythological origins. One from, though Ramayana and Mahabharata you cannot accept that they are real. It is doubtful that whether they are mythology, they are religious texts. But definitely there was an age when Ramayana was documented. Definitely there was an age when Mahabharata was documented. So you can call the age as age of epical Indian age, when Ramayana was scripted by Valmiki ji and Mahabharata was scripted by Vedavyasa. In that age, at least references of letters were there. Prior to that, letters were supposed to be carried by birds, and like Meghdut, and so many examples are there. And then letters came. Ultimately, we came to know about the mythological origin of letters. How these letters developed. Letters developed from, you can say, it is a direct correspondence from human soul, human heart, sharing your opinion, your desires to the others, and you want to convey the way you want to convey. So here I would like to explain one paragraph from the book Formal Letters, and that letters, the closest genre to human heart, have universal significance as they are the best carriers holding in its breast the essence of the sweetest human thoughts, comprising the yearnings of love, longings, aspirations, determination, dreams, spreading within its fold. So letters carry love, wish, hatred, anger, everything, every emotion within its fold. And then that is why sometimes they are folding the thread also. They got gradually, by the power of the time, letters became very powerful. And what power they acquired? What type of power do they acquire? They got the power to dethrone. Listen these words: dethrone, enthrone, or re-establish empires beyond the seven seas. Means, if here is a kingdom, king can be dethroned by the power of a letter, and new king can be enthroned by the power of another letter, and even re-establish empires beyond the boundaries of seven seas. So that way, this is the power, this is the limit of the letter. And the tinge of the softness that letters carry makes them cherished worthy, memorable and adorable. They crept beneath the pillow, they slept on the breast, and they remained in the purse of more preciously than human wealth. Letters sometimes, just because of the kind of emotional values and the professional significance they do carry. Then there comes, we will be talking about informal letters. Informal letters are personal letters. You write to your father, you write to your mother, you write to your brother, you write to your friend, you write to your girlfriend, you write to anybody, any relative. Anyone, it may be your sister, it may be your friend, it may be your relative, and it may be somebody closely known to you. This is informal letter. Informal letter may be love letter, maybe friend's letter, maybe a letter of discussing some problem, a letter asking for some solution, so seeking some guidance, some advice from your close relatives. Then there comes the formal letter. This letter is the very professional letter. This is for your use, and this you will be using in your future. For that purpose, formal letter can be divided, can be also termed as professional letter, and they constitute professional correspondence, where they took the new form like email also, and they took the new form telegram also, they took the new form SMS also, they took the new form application, job application, and so many things. And you can say termination letter, employment letter, offer letter, request letter, approval letter, and so many types of letters can come into this category, formal letters. Again, we will be discussing here some more point. Informal letters were also known as, these are talking about informal, back to informal. Informal letters were known as personal letters carrying all the subjectivity. For informal letter, quality is subjectivity. 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 They are subjective in language, subjective in nature. They are personal in nature. They are personal in nature. But formal letters, they require objective language. They require objective language, and they are impersonal in nature. They are impersonal in nature.